Hey guys, what is up? My name is Bunny. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back. How's it going? I hope you're doing very, very well today. Today I'm bringing you a pretty, actually, highly requested and wanted video, which always surprises me, but I guess you guys are interested in this side of my life. That's one of the main reasons why people tend to follow me, I think. And that is my health. So I am talking today just a total health update for you all to keep you informed of what's going on, you know, to a level where it's not too intrusive in my life, but you know, there's a lot going on with my health as always, so I figured I need to let you guys in a little bit on what that is. If you see me looking to my right, it's because I have some notes on my laptop at my right here, but to start up, let's just start off with the good old Eds Winter Flare-Up. Now, if you're new here, then you probably won't know what EDS is. EDS is short for ehlers-danlos syndrome, which is the primary chronic illness that I was born with and am diagnosed with. So very, very quickly, EDS is a connective tissue disorder that affects the collagen in the entirety of the body. Collagen makes up almost everything in our body. There's collagen in it. Therefore, this disease affects the entire body. It is a multi-systems disease, which means that multiple organs are affected, my joints are affected. To keep it very simple, I dislocate joints extremely easily, which leads to a lot of pain and a lot of physical disability. My organs can rupture very easily. I have a weakened heart because of it, weakened lungs. That's why I get quite out of breath even just filming a video like this, because I'm talking a lot. I find it hard to catch my breath sometimes. Even down to the fact that EDS also led me to be prone to another condition called Chiari Malformation, which is where the cerebellar tonsils or the cerebellum of the brain herniates into the spinal column. So a whole lot of stuff going on. My EDS is largely focused in its symptoms with my spine. My spine is extremely fucked up, let's just put it that way. It's hurting me a lot to sit up straight like this right now. At the moment I'm dealing with a lot of mid-spine issues, so I have some crushed and also open discs in the way of, I also have Spina Bifida Occulta. So Spina Bifida, of course, is a condition that a lot more people know about, but Spina Bifida Occulta is a form of Spina Bifida where the outside signs of Spina Bifida are missing, but internally the spine has not fused correctly. So the spinal discs are open and leads to a whole lot of pain, a whole lot of trouble, a whole lot of difficulty. So yeah, my mid-spine is really, really fucked at the moment. I believe I've got a sort of permanently slipped disc there. I have been told that I've got a slipped disc before, but sometimes it acts up, sometimes it doesn't. And yeah, with the EDS Winter Flare-Up, winter is horrible for EDSers, especially in the UK. I find the winter a lot worse than it was in Canada, even though it gets a lot colder in Canada where I'm from. It is a dry cold. The humidity is a lot lower or non-existent in the winter, and here the humidity is still high in the air, so it's a wet cold, which is horrific for my joints and my bones and everything. It's just horrible. So all of the little EDS things that in the summer sometimes calm down a little bit and get a little easier. Sorry, I gotta move a bit. They get worse in the winter. They get really bad. So I've also got bursitis in my shoulder, which has been, it's been such a bitch lately. When I'm walking around, especially when I'm out and about, so as soon as I step out the door and the cold gets into my joints, my knee starts clicking very, very audibly, so loud that people walking beside me or standing beside me in the shop or something, they look at me and look at my knee, and it's like you can see the confusion and shock and disgust on their face. I'm just like, I'm sorry, mate. I'm like an old lady. I click, I crack, I make noises as I walk around. I'm so sorry. It's just my skeleton being weird. But yeah, that also has led to a lot of knee dislocations lately, and just, yeah. but it's really painful when it's clicking like that constantly, like literally every single step it will go click, 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 or crack, whatever noise you want to, sound effect you want to attribute to the sound of a joint popping out of place constantly. Yeah, it's not nice. I'm gonna move again, sorry. I'm really uncomfortable and really out of breath today. I'm really sorry for that, but I guess it's apt when I'm filming a health update. Also, when it comes to my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it has been, 2 years since we lost Mum now, and well, over 2 years. And I finally need to get up the guts to go back to the specialist and be re-evaluated for the type of EDS that I have. So when I was first diagnosed at around age 14, 15, I think I was more 15 when I was officially diagnosed, but when I got the official diagnosis and the subtyping, I was subtyped as classical with hypermobile traits. So, or the other way around, I can't remember. No, I think it was classical with hypermobility. So basically I have classical type EDS, but I'm also extremely hypermobile. So yeah, I've got a lot of the skin findings and stuff like that that goes with the classic type, and a lot more of the internal organ issues and everything with classic type. But I also have the hypermobility, which really sucks. But since Mum passed away, we question if me and Mum have vascular type, if my mum had vascular type, and that's why she passed away so young. We both were never actually officially tested for vascular type because the specialists, and we went to the best specialists there are. We went to Dr. Francomano, Dr. Bradley Tinkle, all these people, all these names that we all know and love. They decided through clinical diagnosis and findings that it would be a waste of time to actually do the actual blood test and genetic testing and everything, which isn't hard or painful or anything or whatever. It's just expensive on the system and whatever. So yeah, they decided not to actually blood test us and actually for sure subtype us as not classical, as not vascular, or definitely vascular. So we've never known either way, and the way that my mum passed away, it was a lot of vascular symptoms and it looked a lot like someone who had vascular type. So if she also had vascular type, then I probably also have vascular type. And my symptoms are getting more and more vascular as I age, and yeah. There is a new subtyping, hang on, let me get my breath. See, these bits I normally edit out and like make sure I don't show you having to get my breath in my normal videos, but I'm gonna leave it in this one because it makes sense for this video. But anyway, yeah, I believe there is a new subtype of EDS that has been found that is cardiovascular type or something like that, or cardiac type, or I don't know, but it's essentially classical and hypermobile type with vascular findings, so that sounds very much like me. So yeah, I need to be back with a specialist, but anyway, that's going to be a hell of a fight to get to see a specialist with the NHS system at the moment, but we're gonna do it. Another big symptom that I've had flaring up again lately is gastroparesis. Gastroparesis is essentially the partial paralysis of the stomach and the gut and the whole system of food through your body. A lot of people with EDS have gastroparesis, and that is why a lot of EDSers are tubies. They have feeding tubes, permanent feeding tubes in their bodies. I have been able to get away with not getting a tube quite yet because I hold on to weight very well. It's easier to mask how little I'm eating, and the doctors don't take it quite as seriously how little I'm able to take in by mouth. But at the moment I'm able to eat very little. I have about one safe food at the moment, which is bland chicken nuggets. Sounds random, I know, but people are like, oh, why don't you eat really healthy food? That's easier on your stomach and stuff, but it's not. It's more fibrous and it's more dense and it's more nutritious, which is good for me and is what I need, but it's harder for my body to digest because of that. So I'm finding like a few chicken nuggets a day and maybe a banana and maybe some like Ritz crackers or something like that is all I'm eating in a day. Occasionally I'm able to eat a little bit of chocolate or something to just like, you know, cheer myself up, but I always pay for it afterwards. I always feel really, really unwell afterwards and feel really sick, nauseous. And yeah, gastroparesis, basically when your stomach can't digest food properly, when it just sits and rots in your stomach before it even gets into the gut system and everything, it just makes you feel extremely nauseous, extremely sluggish and ill and gross. It's physically painful in your stomach, and then the whole digestion portion of it takes days and days and days. Not to get too graphic, but I go number 2 very, very rarely. It's literally a couple of times a month sort of thing, that's it. Because it takes that long for food to go through my system. So obviously when it gets to a stage when you've got enough, so much in your gut, but it's not going through yet, you can't keep putting more in. So, you know, it's just really hard eating. It's getting me down and it's making me ill, and like one of the side effects of it is that I'm not getting enough nutrition, so I'm starting to lose a lot more hair again, and I'm balding, and my hair is falling out and thinning out in chunks, and the sides aren't growing in properly. And yeah, there's just a lot like that goes with that, and I don't really know what else to say about that. My fatigue obviously has been extremely high with it being winter, and just in general it's been very, very high. I've not been sleeping very well, which leads to daytime napping, which then leads to further not being able to sleep well. But even then, I've not even been napping all that much. I've actually been just not sleeping much at all, which it makes no sense when you're so fatigued, but excuse me, there's that old gastric system being unhappy. But I don't know, it's like I'll not sleep for days, and then I'll sleep for like 2 days straight. Like literally, I do have days where I sleep for 20 hours of the day sort of thing. But then I have days when I barely get 2 hours sleep, so I don't know what's going on. It's all my meds, it's my system, it's not being active. Sleep is a constant battle. All chronically ill people know this. Sleep is like, you're either getting way too much of it or way too little of it. There's never a nice in between. It's so chaotic and frustrating. When it comes to my meds, I'm still on Oromorph as my primary continual pain reliever throughout the day. I take this every 3 hours. It's a 5 ml dose you're supposed to take. I've been taking a 10 ml dose lately. That's the only way I've been getting through, so it's 10 mils every 3 hours. My doctor knows that I change my dose when I'm in a flare-up, and she's totally fine with that. I'm allowed to up to like triple, quadruple my dose sometimes, and she's fine with that. I just need to keep her informed. I'm also on a fentanyl patch still. That's the more newer medication in my system, and it was working for a while. I noticed a big change in my pain relief. But as we raised the dose, I've now gotten used to that raised dose, and I'm on a 50 microgram patch, I think it is. And to go any further up in doses, I need to start getting my bloods tested because it can do liver damage and all that good stuff. Yay! For meds that fuck with your liver. But I just haven't been able to get my bloods tested, so therefore I haven't been able to increase my dose yet, which is really, really frustrating. So I need to increase my dose definitely ASAP, but I need to get those bloods tested first. But yeah, good old Oromorph. This is a lifesaver literally, because when I was on Paladone I was not doing well at all, and Oromorph has at least gotten me to a relative level of being able to live somewhat, well, no, I don't live normally at all, but you know what I mean, like I live, at least I'm living, at least I'm alive, at least I'm not just, you know, flat in bed basically 24/7. I'm also taking a whole bunch of vitamins and supplements lately. I'm doing that largely because of the gastroparesis, but also just because I do notice a difference when I take them. I'm taking vitamin C. I started taking organic turmeric pills for anti-inflammatory purposes, a daily probiotic, a B12, I think behind there is a magnesium and calcium, and a multivitamin and all that good stuff. I find it helps. It does help in general. Like for the past few nights, for the past week or so actually, I've been unable to take them because I've been so nauseous and unable to swallow big pills like that due to the gastroparesis. And I have noticed a difference just in the past week in my energy level being even lower than it was the weeks previously when I was taking all the vitamins. So at least that's a good sign that vitamins definitely do help. I think part of it may be slightly placebo, but you know, with me, with being so chronically ill, placebo doesn't really work on me that much. So there can be a little bit of placebo work in there, but when you're so ill, I don't really believe that placebo is a big factor because you can't placebo your way out of serious chronic illness. So yeah, vitamins are good. They're good. I've also doubled my nighttime dose of amitriptyline. I find amitriptyline is helping a lot with my nerve pain. A large part of my pain is neuropathy. But all of the sort of daytime nerve pains, like pain relievers like Neurontin and stuff like that, I have very, very bad mental reactions to because they are also mental health related meds. They're like anti-seizure meds, but they can affect your mental health when you have bipolar and psychotic symptoms and stuff. And yeah, they don't work very well with me. It has been very messy in the past when I've tried those. So all I can take is amitriptyline, even though that is also supposed to be an antidepressant and stuff like that. For me, it doesn't really affect me in that level at the dose I'm taking, but I have doubled my dose, so I'm on 20 milligrams a night now of amitriptyline, and it does help with sleep to a degree. Sometimes I find it does knock me out, but not all the time. As I said, I'm not sleeping well. Usually what it does is knocks me out and then I wake up 2 hours later, so that tends to be my cycle. But it helps with nerve pain for sure. And just speaking of mental health very quickly, I upped my Abilify recently because, as I've briefly mentioned to y'all, I think I was pretty much manic for most of last year because I was off my meds for a large portion of last year. I introduced my Abilify back into my life around October time, I think it was, and since then I've upped it back up to my normal therapeutic dose of 15 milligrams a day, and I'm feeling good. Abilify is a life changer for me. I love Abilify. Like, honestly, if one medication saved my life, it was Abilify, because it got me out of a dark bipolar hole years and years and years ago. It's the only med that has ever worked for me with bipolar. Yeah, amazing medication, and I'm just really glad to be back at my therapeutic dose and feeling relatively good. Well, I'm feeling fine when it comes to mania and stuff like that. I'm level. I am dipping into the depression, which Abilify isn't very good at managing. It manages the mania but not the depression very well. So I am finding myself dipping into depression quite a bit, but at least I'm not manic, because that is what truly scares me. So an update you guys have definitely been waiting for is on my oral surgery. I finally have a surgery date. I could not be more excited or more terrified for this. March 5th I will be having my surgery. It will be under full anaesthetic in Marston Hospital in Wales here. With the head of maxillofacial surgery, literally the head of maxillofacial surgery in like all of Wales / the UK. He took on my case. Someone lower was marked to do my surgery, and then they were like, no, the head guy needs to do it, and he took my case on. And also a restorative dentist is going to be, a restorative dental surgeon is going to be at the surgery as well to fix some of my teeth and stuff that are all chipped and everything. A thing with EDS is that our teeth just seem to crumble. We seem to get to an age and then suddenly it doesn't matter how well you care for your teeth. I care for my teeth very well. I'm Canadian, we're brought up with like an obsession over teeth. I had Invisalign growing up, I had my teeth zoom whitened after Invisalign. Like, I've been obsessive about my teeth for a long time and still they are crumbling. So I've got a hole in the front, in the front tooth there, right in the back that's also creeping around to the front now. I've got a couple of little cavities that are more so just chips in the teeth and holes in the teeth that have then become cavities because it's impossible to clean them properly. That's what I was told anyway. And then of course the big part is the wisdom teeth. So as you guys know, I've needed my wisdom teeth out for years now, but mostly in the past 2 years they've been causing me massive trouble. And for the past year and a half, I have been on the waiting list to get this surgery because in the UK they normally do wisdom teeth removals just in the dental office under local anaesthetic and that's it. But for me, EDSers and I do not react to local anaesthetic, which is fun, not. So we need to go into general anaesthetic for surgeries like that, especially as I also have bleeding disorders. So oral surgery, you lose a lot of blood. I need to be treated with DDAVP and also have blood of my type on hand at the surgery just in case I lose a lot of blood. They can transfuse me or infuse me, whichever way it is. Yeah. So I'm kind of terrified because I'm a massive general anesthetic risk and they're going to be doing a lot of testing on me over the next few weeks before the surgery to make sure that I am fit. I'm not fit, but fit for surgery. And it's going to be not the longest surgery or anything, but it's going to be a while because it's a complicated case and my wisdom teeth have mostly now fallen out themselves bit by bit, which is disgusting, but it means that the gum is then healed over and the root of the wisdom teeth is still under there, so they're going to have to open up the gum again and then pull out the rest of the root of the wisdom teeth, and it's just all very complicated. And it's going to be very painful, and I'm gonna need you guys to be with me along the way on Instagram stories and stuff like that, because I'm sure I'm gonna come out of surgery and like the first thing I'm gonna do is crying on Instagram stories with you guys, or being like really high saying funny things on Instagram stories. I gotta be careful I don't do that actually, because God knows what I'll say. But yeah, surgery is coming up. I will be kept in overnight for sure, at least for one night they've booked me in, which is extremely rare with wisdom teeth surgery. Obviously, that's not normally the sort of surgery that you stay in overnight for, but for me, it's a massive surgery. And this is just one of the little things about EDS that shows what a massive disease it is in how it affects you when, you know, even the littlest surgeries become massive, complicated affairs, and it's so frustrating because it just means for the rest of my life now, if I get a tiny cavity, I'm gonna just have to let a few cavities build up and get to a stage where I need to go under fully and get them all done all in one. And like, it's something that's on my brain now of like, how am I gonna handle this going through forward in my life now when I can't just get cavities filled under local anesthetic and stuff. And I don't know, I'm probably gonna end up with fake teeth at some point. That's just something I've resigned myself to. I will start to lose teeth eventually and need fake ones, but yeah, it's crazy stuff. So other than that, I've just been, you know, mostly bedbound and housebound lately. I go out once or twice a week at most. If I go out of the house any other times, it's literally just down the block to Tesco's around the corner and then back just to get milk or something like that. And even some days I have walked out of my house and walked right back in because I've realized it's too cold for my joints to be able to walk outside, or I'm just too tired to be able to do it. And yeah, it's rough. It's a lot of housebound life right now, but I'm dealing with it relatively well. It is what it is. I live for those days that I can get out and I can get into Cardiff town or whatever, like, you know, Cardiff Central, and yeah, and like I'm just looking forward to the good things coming up in my life, like my next tattoo sitting, which will have me taking a trip up to Birmingham, which I'm a bit terrified of because obviously I'm going to be exhausted, but I'm hopefully going to be meeting a friend there who's also going to be coming to the tattoo with me and then traveling back to Birmingham with me, like central Birmingham with me after the tattoo and stuff, so that will be a bit better. I won't be on my own, which will be nice. And yeah, it's a bit scary traveling when you're so unwell, but especially when you're going to be getting a long tattoo while you're there, which will exhaust you even more. But yeah, I'm super stoked for that. I will be vlogging that day. By the way, I'm getting my neck tattooed. Yes, we're going for it. We're doing the neck finally. I'm so excited for it. But that is going to be happening in just over 2 weeks on a Friday, and yeah, that's going to be a vlog coming up very soon. I don't know what else to say, so I guess I've just rambled about my health to y'all. I think I've missed a few things, like my eyesight's been going really bad, which is to do with EDS and also to do with the med I'm on, Abilify. That affects eyesight. My eyesight has gone really bad again, really quickly. Like it's gotten worse again. Just lots of little things, the balding thing. When I walk too much, my toes just get bruised now, like underneath a toenail, I just get blood blisters of bruising where literally my toes can't handle walking. Like, oh, just so many little stupid, dumb things about my health that I'm just so tired of, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And if I can do it, you can too. If you are like me, struggling with chronic illness, hang in there. I know it's easier said than done, and I know not all days are happy days, but live for those ones that are, okay? Because we gotta keep going for something. I will catch you guys very soon with another video. I love you all so very much. Thank you for listening to me and listening to my story and maybe opening your eyes and widening your knowledge of chronic illness and disability and all that. And